Hello guys, this is Sri. So in this video, we are going to see about the MySQL InnoDB replica set. So this is the part one video. So I'm planning to release one more video, which is part two. In the part one, we will see about this architecture and how to set up the InnoDB replica set and how to do the switchover, failover manually. All these things we will cover. In the part two, I will try to explain the how to adapt the existing environment with InnoDB replica set, configuring the MySQL router. So these all things and some crash scenarios. This all will be covered in the part two video. Okay. So before starting with the video, I would like to share that I am open to any kind of MySQL support, DBA projects and freelancing works, as well as part-time opportunities related to the MySQL administration. And I'm also planning to conduct on MySQL DBA training, maybe in a week. I will share more details about it in my LinkedIn page and YouTube channel and other social medias as well. Okay, fine. And yeah, you can reach me on WhatsApp, mobile, email, or my LinkedIn profile in case of any queries. Fine. So let's start with this. So first of all, InnoDB replica set is the combination of MySQL server and the MySQL shell and the MySQL router. Okay. So yeah, this is the complete demo video. But before that, let me try to give some overview about the InnoDB replica set. Okay. So InnoDB cluster is also combination of these three components, right? MySQL server, shell, and router. Then what is the difference between InnoDB replica set and the InnoDB cluster is InnoDB replica set in the backend, we have the asynchronous traditional replication, right? And for InnoDB cluster in the backend, we have the group replication. There you can use multi-node writers, all these things. But in the InnoDB replica set, you can write on only one node. One node should be the primary, and the other you may have one or more replicas. Okay. Uh, then this is the InnoDB replica set. In the backend, we have the asynchronous replication. But for this load balancing, all these things, we will use the MySQL router. And MySQL shell is the admin API. There we have different function calls that we can use to create, manage, failover, switchover. We have the different functions to use. You can easily manage your synchronous replication environment with the MySQL shell effectively. So combining all this thing, this is known as the InnoDB replica set. Okay. As I mentioned, it does not support the auto failover by default, but the manual failover, in case your primary is down, you can manually promote the latest updated replica as a primary. That we can do, and also you cannot write on the multi nodes like InnoDB cluster. You should write on only one primary, and the other nodes will be as a replica. Okay. And the basic requirement to set up the InnoDB replica set is binary logs and with the row-based format, binlog format, and GTD should be enabled, and this persisted global load parameter should be enabled. This is by default enabled, but the why this variable is required is when you are preparing your MySQL instance to compatible with InnoDB replica set, it may need to make some changes. Okay, I will show that in the demo. Okay, those will be persisted in your MySQL d auto.cnf config. The similar way how the persist config works, I will show that. Okay, so this parameter should be enabled, and these are the steps we are going to execute on this tutorial. First of all, we are going to connect the MySQL shell. MySQL shell, you already aware of it, right? That is a latest MySQL client utility. Effectively, you can do multiple operations using MySQL shell. You can monitor your MySQL database. You can perform the backups. There is a lot of things. we have in the MySQL Shell. I created one video regarding the MySQL Shell in my channel. Maybe you can take a look at it. Okay. Yeah. So as a high level overview, what we are going to perform in this tutorial is we are going to connect the MySQL Shell. Then we are going to prepare the each MySQL instance to be compatible with the replica set. After we prepared the MySQL instance, then we are going to create the replica set. Then we are going to add the replicas. Okay. Then adding the replicas, may you can perform the clone or incremental thing to catch up, apply the pending data, and you can join the replicas. There are a few options that we will see, and we are going to verify the status. And finally, we are going to see how we can promote the replica to primary, and in case your primary fails, then how you need to forcefully promote the latest updated replicas here primary. These all things we will see in this tutorial. Okay, fine. So as usual, I have created three MySQL instances. So these are the three MySQL instances I'm going to use. So let me connect ORB-M. I'm using ORB stack to create these VMs. So that supports the x86 64 architecture, CPU architecture in the Mac. So I prefer using that. That is really helpful. And ORB-M to second node in this terminal, and here ORB-M. This is third node I connected here. Okay, I logged in three different servers here. Okay, and you can see the host name, all are the 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe this is the recommendation from one of the subscriber before to have the different color on the terminal for the easily identify the replicas and primary. So I'm just making it. So let me switch to yellow, this replica, and this also I'm going to make it yellow. So the replicas will be in yellow color and the primary is on green. Okay. Yeah. So this is the item to terminal I'm using. Okay, fine. So the first one, the green terminal is the primary, and the other two is the yellow fonted terminals or the replicas. Okay, fine. So I already installed the MySQL here. Okay, so let me create one local config to put my password so that I don't need to type the password all the time, right? Client password equal to root 123. So whenever I'm just giving the MySQL, the password will be read by in my local config, and it should allow the login. See, so I managed to log in the MySQL server on all the three nodes. Okay, and I am using the MySQL 8.4.7 version on all the three MySQL instances. Fine. Now, yeah, before beginning with the setup, I also want to configure the host names, resolving the host name. For that, I'm going to perform the edit on the etc host file. Let me do that quickly. etc host, and here once I am going, yeah, this is my, and here, okay, let me switch to this. I need to get the IP for this host as well. So I'm just coming down. Host name hyphen I. Yeah, this is my second IP. And this is the 2, 2. Okay. And similarly, coming to the other third node, I'm copying the IP. putting this as a third node. Okay, done. So now let me copy this and I will paste this on all the three clusters. Sorry, three servers. Okay, done. And here, okay, I already have this entry here. Let me edit. Just pasting the thing. This is done. And similarly, I'm doing it on the other node, third node as well. Okay, this is done. So now host name should be resolved. Let me try that. For example, telnet instead of IP, I am doing InnoDB RS2 3306. Yeah, so here you can see this is connected everywhere. Connected, and it is connected. Fine. So now my first name is resolved. Fine. So this also configured. So whatever we so far we did already installed the MySQL server and I created the local config to log in the MySQL without providing the password explicitly. And I also added the etc hosts entry to resolve the host name. Okay, fine. Now let me come to the high level step. First step is connect to the MySQL shell, right? Yeah, so MySQL shell, you can log in with the command. Okay, MySQL shell is not installed yet. Let me quickly search MySQL shell. I am using Ubuntu 24 apt install. The MySQL repository is already configured here. So this is the package. Just doing apt install MySQL shell. Okay. So it will install the MySQL shell in my machines. So by default, the MySQL shell is not installed. So you need to manually install it. And once the shell is installed, you can connect the MySQL using the MySQL sh command. That is the command line you need to use to work with MySQL shell. Okay, fine. Uh, Let it install. My network is quite low. I am on the terrace actually, so the network is little bit slow. Yeah, it should be installed. So I would say this: if you are running with the MySQL asynchronous replication, adapting with it with MySQL shell and the MySQL router would be really helpful for the manageability. You can perform the easy switchover, failover, all these things. You can easily manage your asynchronous replication environment to adapting it to the InnoDB replica set. Okay, cool. Fine. Now this MySQL shell is installed. So now let me show you how to connect the MySQL shell. The command line is MySQL sh. Okay. Uh, just doing enter. Okay, I am getting some error 202 cannot connect MySQL. Okay, so this is due to MySQL by default. MySQL shell is trying to establish the connection with this socket var lib MySQL but my socket file is var run MySQL to MySQL d.sock, right? So that is not able to connect. So you can explicitly you can provide the socket equal to the socket which is using by your MySQL server. Yeah, so once it is done, you are now logged into the MySQL shell prompt. So MySQL shell, it is supported three mode. One is SQL mode and another one is JavaScript mode. You can activate it by typing /JS it will switch to JavaScript, and it is also supported for the Python mode. You can switch to Python. There you can execute the Python codes to interact with your MySQL. And in the JavaScript, you can type the JavaScript code to interact with your MySQL, and of course SQL with the you can also do the SQL to interact with the MySQL server. Fine. Now the utilities are created in the JavaScript mode. And let me switch to JavaScript. Okay, fine. Now I'm connected my MySQL on all the three servers using the MySQL Shell command utility. Okay, fine. Now let me come to the my high level steps. I connected to the MySQL Shell. That is the first step that is done. The next step is prepare the MySQL instance. You need to, here I just install the MySQL that all have the default values. The requirement for the InnoDB replica set is GTAD should be enabled, right? By default, GTAD is not enabled. And there are some GTAD related parameter like enforced GTAD consistency that should be enabled. And server ID should be configured unique on the different three servers. This all things needs to be done, right? You can manually doing that, but you can also use the MySQL shell command line utility by executing this function dba.configure replica set instance, right? So and you should be make sure you are in the JavaScript mode, JS mode, and then just paste this command. Okay, dba.configure replica set instance. You need to prepare all the three nodes to compatible with the InnoDB replica set. Okay, so you need to execute this command on all the three servers. Okay, now let me proceed. Okay, so you can see this instance belongs to an InnoDB replica set, configuring the local instance, listening the port, your MySQL port, these things. This error is for your root user, like root user can be accessed with the local host. It cannot be connected remotely, right? So what is the recommended approach is you should create one admin user with the same username and password on all the three instances. That particular account will be used to manage your InnoDB replica set. Okay, so that is the options provided here. One is the cancel, ignore, and continue, and create a remote usable account for root. That is not a recommended thing. And the thing is, you need to choose the second one. Create a new admin account for InnoDB replica set with minimal required grants. The grants which is required for to manage your replica set. Okay, so here I am choosing the option 2 on all the three. Okay, so once it is chosen, it will ask to provide the username and password. Okay, and you need to confirm the password, then the account will be created. Make sure you need to create the same user and password on across all the nodes. Okay, fine. I am creating three vlogs. My username and password is also Sri Vlogs, and confirming the password. I would recommend to have the strong password here. Okay, for my for just showing the demo, I'm having the easy password. So I would recommend to create a strong password on your environments. Okay, production or whatever. Enter. So once it is done, so this is the my user which is created, and it is telling that apply work others. That is your replication parallel workers. That will be the 4, and it is asking some configurations option needs to be fixed so that your server will be compatible to configure the InnoDB replica set, right? So it is telling InnoDB, sorry, enforce GTAD consistency, that is current value is off, that should be on. GTAD mode current value is off, that should be on. And server ID current value is 1, that is a default value, and that should be some unique value. Okay, so some variables needs to be changed but cannot be done dynamically on the server, because this server ID, definitely that is the static parameter that needs the MySQL restart, right? Okay, now do you want to perform the required configuration changes? Yes or no? I am press Why? Yes. Once that is done, do you want to restart the instance after configuring it? Yes. Okay, fine. So now configuring the instance InnoDB replica set 1 was configured to be used in the InnoDB replica set. Restarting the MySQL, it will restart the MySQL as well. And MySQL server at InnoDB replica set 13306 was restarted. Restart is also completed, right? Now let me switch to SQL mode and just to verify these things. Verify, select at GTID mode at enforce GTID consistency at server underscore ID, right? You can see now GTID mode is on, enforce GTID consistency is on, and the server ID is unique across all the three instances, right? Now everything is done, which means my servers are prepared to configure the configure the InnoDB replica set. Right now, I also wanted to show these parameters are persisted in your MySQL D auto.cnf. Okay, it should be located in your data directory. Inside the data directory, if you see the MySQL D auto.cnf, this is when you are doing some persist values, it should be written here. So here you can see GTAD mode is on, right? And yeah, enforce GTAD consistency is on, right? And your server ID value is here. So whenever you are doing some parameter changes on the persist, instead of global, after you restart, it will go. It will pick the default value or it will pick the value from my.cnf. But when you are doing the persist, I mean those configuration changes was made with the persist value. Okay, so here whenever you are restarting the MySQL service, it will read your my.cnf as well as it will also read your MySQL D auto.cnf inside your data directory, and it will apply all these parameters. Okay, so in this case you will not you will never lost your values for those parameters. Okay, fine. I think I also have one more video in my channel explaining this persist, how to remove, how to add all these things. Explain in my channel. You can take a look at it. Fine. So now this is done. So far what we did, we already installed the MySQL server and we installed the MySQL shell. Then we prepared all my MySQL instances to compatible with the InnoDB replica set. And we also gone through this MySQL D auto.cnf file. Fine. And we created one user account also, right, to manage the replica set. Fine. So now the preparation part is done. The next step is I need to create the replica set. That is the next step, right? Create the replica set. So I can use this command to create the replica set. I will explain it. But before that, now let me switch to the uh, single node. There I am going to log in the MySQL shell. Okay, so I need to provide socket. MySQL shell and switching to the JavaScript mode. And here I am going to connect my account which is created to manage the InnoDB replica set. Okay, InnoDB RS1. It is asking the passwords, free vlogs. Okay, I'm getting some error. Let me try to see. Please provide the password for this. Okay. Access denied for the user local host. Okay, 1 second. Let me check why it is failing. It's resolving the local host. Let me remove this. Yeah, so now let me try. It should resolve the IP. Yeah, FJ. connect three blocks. Yeah, let me try now. VLOG. Yes. Not sure. Did I made the password rightly? Let me try. MySQL hyphen U three vlogs. I'm typing the password here to verify vlogs. Okay, it looks like my password. Maybe I did something wrong in the password. So it is not able to connect. Let me try to alter user three vlogs at the rate identified by three vlogs. What happened? It is not. Let me show the available user from MySQL dot user. Okay, so it looks like user is not created. Okay, I cleared that. I'm not sure why the user is not created. This is something weird. Fine. Let me do one thing. Create. Let me check the other servers as well. Select user, comma, host from MySQL dot user. Okay, it is here. MySQL select user, comma, host from MySQL dot user. It's also here. Why it is not created? I am not sure. Show create user three blocks. Okay. Let me try to use this and let me create manually. There might be some error message. I missed it. I cleared the terminal logs as well. So does not have the expected format. Fine. Let me do one more thing. MySQL hyphen U three blocks hyphen P three blocks. Okay, so this is the password working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually create the user here. Create user three blocks and identified by three blocks. Okay, let me apply the same grants here. Show grants for three blocks. Okay, there are multiple things. MySQL hyphen e show grants for three blocks. Let me execute this. Hyphen S hyphen capital N. Okay, I got. So now manually I am going to apply this grants here. But still I am not sure why that user was not created on the only this node. I will verify it. Three blocks dot SQL. Okay. So I need the semicolon over there, right? So let me put the grand option semicolon. Semicolon, 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 semicolon. Okay, let me verify this. This is done. This is done. 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 Yeah, everyone has the semicolon. Fine. Now I'm just going to execute this MySQL hyphen VVV three logs. At the okay. Okay, there is a typo. And come on. Yeah, just clear. I should avoid use clear so that I might have the terminal logs. Okay, fine. These are created now. All are executed fine. Now let me verify once. Select user comma post from MySQL dot user. Okay, Sri logs exist now. But yeah, quickly let me verify if there is something reported in the MySQL Shell logs. You can find the MySQL Shell logs in the .mysql sh folder. There you might see one log file. Just wanted to see why this. Anything, what is that? Info db config error. There is no such grant defined for the user. Okay, this is error from my show grants command, I think. I need to check why that was created before. Fine. So currently I created the user manually here. The same Sriblog user with the same grant, same password. Everything is now available on all the three servers. Okay. Fine. Let's continue with the setup. I will check that why it was not created before. Maybe I will get back on that in the video commands or whatever. Fine. Now let me connect Sri vlogs at InnoDB RS1. Should work now. Three blocks. Yeah. So it is asking to persist the password or not. Yeah, I'm just giving why. Save it. Fine. Now I am switched to uh, Sri blocks user. You can see that I'm connected with the Sri blocks user now. Fine. I'm switching back to the JavaScript mode. Fine. So yeah, the error, let me clarify, like this Revlogs user that was created on all the other two servers, but it was not created in the primary node when I am executing this command DBA configure replica set instance. I'm not sure why it was not in the, maybe I given some type or whatever. I made it some mistake while doing that. I do not have that. When I do the clear command, all my terminal logs are erased. So I cannot go back to check what has happened. So what I did is for a quick fix, I manually copy the create user structure and the grants from the other replica node. And I created the same account in my node 1 as well. Okay, so that is done. So now we have the admin account and I am able to connect with my admin account as well. The next step is, so we prepared all the instances now properly. And the next step is creating the replica set. Okay, so this is the command. Let me explain this command. So to create the replica set, you can just log in any one of the MySQL shell. You can create the replica set there. Then you can add the other replicas from the same shell itself. Let me show you. So this is the command. So here SV is your variable name. It can be anything. Okay. And this is how we can define the variable in the JavaScript. And this is the replica set name. This also you can give anything based on your environment. You can use any name here. Okay, now let me execute this. Mhm. The instance already belongs to the replica set. Access it or DBA. Okay, let me try to get what I have. Where SV equal to, you are connected to the member of replica set. SV dot status Fine. So this is like this is actually the command. But when I was experimented before, this InnoDB replica set was already created using the same replica set name. Okay. But yeah, let me try to remove this completely and okay. SQL show schemas, InnoDB cluster metadata, use show tables. Okay, so here we have all this configuration. Let me do one thing. Show schemas, drop database, this guy. Okay, so it is dropped, right? Now let me switch to JS mode. And now let me try to execute this command that should not show anything. Let me see. What is telling the function is not available through the session standalone instance. Yeah, this is now the standalone instance. Fine. So now let me execute this command again. Yeah. So here you can see now it is created. So what I did now is, so when I was before starting the tutorial video, I was tested something before. Okay. So that metadata was available on the metadata schema. So when I'm executing this command, it was telling the replica set is already configured. So to show the exact demo in this tutorial, I was just drop the metadata schema. Then after that, it is completely like a standalone machine. And now if I am executing this command, create replica set command, you can see a new replica set with instance, this will be created, and checking MySQL instance at this is already compatible. We already prepared this machine. The instance reports its own address. This is the address. We already configured the etc host. So it giving the host name here, and instant configured is shootable. And then checking the connectivity, so the SSL configuration, updating the metadata. Now the metadata database will again get created, and replica set object successfully created for this host. The first InnoDB replica set one, and rs add instance and to add the other replicas, and you can use the rs status function to check the status, right? So this is when now the InnoDB cluster is set is InnoDB replica set is created on for the InnoDB replica set one host. Okay, you can get the status with sv dot status of okay, there is a typo. It should be a status. Yeah. So now you can see this is my replica set and this status is available. All instances available. This is currently this is the only instance I added. I did not added the other two instances yet. I will show you how to add it. So currently one instance is configured, that is available, and the status is online. Okay, and this type is async. As I mentioned, this is the async replication. Fine. Now we are managed to configure the InnoDB replica set on the single node, on the primary node. Now the next step is I need to add these two replicas to the InnoDB replica set, right? Let me show you how to add it. There we have the command add instance. Yeah, and one more thing I want to say is this in whatever variable you define here, sv, it should be written here, sv dot add instance, sv dot status. But however, I'm not sure this is maybe hard coded always to display the rs instance. But if you're doing rs dot add instance, it will not work. Okay, so whatever variable you define here, that should be used. Okay, for example, sv dot sv dot add instance, sv dot add instance, Sri vlogs, and the host is, now let me add the second host, InnoDB RS2, and the port is 3306. Yeah, anyway, if you have the different port, you need to provide that. Okay. Now let me enter. You can see adding instance to the replica set, performing validation check. We already prepared these two replicas, right? So you will not see any compatibility issues. And checking the assay replication topology, connectivity, transaction state. And it is telling a GTD set of the MySQL instance on the second node determined that it contains transactions that do not originated from the replica set, which means the transaction, I mean, the GTD set is not consistent between these two nodes. So to make it consistent, it will ask, uh, it will ask different approaches. For example, it will ask for clone. We have the clone plugin, right? So it will snapshot your data directory and it will apply and for the backup, right? Clone or about. So here you don't have the options to incremental because there it identifies some inconsistencies. So the replicas, the other replica instance should be added with the clone approach. Okay, so this is an option. It provides two options to you. One is the clone and the other one is about. So I'm choosing clone, enter. So it will perform the clone from your primary instance to replica set 1, and it will apply and it will restart your replica set 1 machine. Then finally it will add to the replica set. Okay. So you can see this clones transfer, file copy, page copy, redo copy, everything is completed. And this is your rate, how it was happened. And the changing replication source of InnoDB replica RS2 to InnoDB RS1, and waiting for the new InnoDB to synchronize with the primary, and transaction applied and replicated, and finally the RS2 is added to the replica set. Okay. Now if you see sv dot status, yeah. So now you can see two instances. One is, this is the primary InnoDB RS1 and which is online, and this is the second instance InnoDB RS2, that is the secondary. The role is secondary, and this is in the read only mode. Okay, this is in the read only mode, and yeah, you can see the status here, and this is also online. Okay, fine. So after this, if you see here, you might see the shows executing show slave status on your second node. Oh, sorry. So replica status on your second node, you can see the replication status. Okay. So this is your source host, which is the primary host, RS1. And this is the IO thread and SQL thread, both are running, right? So this is how this works. Okay, like now this replica set 1 is configured. You did not manually did not find any, you did not manually do any backup, you did not manually finding any position, and you did not manually run the change master, start slave, whatever. You did not run anything, right? You just execute this function, right? Add replica, add instance, right? So once that is done, it will be take care of all the things. Okay, fine. So, and now we need to add the other instance. Here you can see show replica status is currently empty on the second replica, right? Now let's try to add the second replica as well. I'm just making the change here, 3. Okay, add instance 3, and it will also asking this similar thing. I am proceeding with the clone. Yeah, so yeah, so it is done finally, and I am checking the SV status, and you can see now this InnoDB RS3 is also added. And now if you see the show replica status on the third node, you see This is now configured as a replica. You can see this IO thread and SQL thread both are running, right? And your primary is this one, right? Yeah, so this is you can use easily add your replicas. You can easily remove your replicas, right? You can easily rejoin your replicas. So all these things you can effectively manage your async replication environment, right? So now you can see we did configure the replica set. In my replica set, I have one primary and two secondaries are available. Okay, fine. Now I also created one of the script. Let me try here. I will try once whether it is properly working or not. This is the additional script mkdir hyphen p. Yeah, so let me create this JavaScript file inside this folder. This is one of the plugin I am trying to add. So just to easily see the replication status in the table format. I was working on it yesterday night. It was worked yesterday. Well, let me see. I need some modifications here. I will do that. Okay, so here this replica. This is actually additionally just to show you. Yeah, so this is the name yesterday I had when I was testing. So I need to modify a few things. Said hyphen I, yes, replica should be my host name is changed, right? InnoDB rs1/g on this file, right? And similarly for replica set should be 2 should be rs2, and similarly 3 should be rs3, right? Fine. So I just created this file inside this folder slash mysql.sh slash plugins slash replica set. Inside this folder, I created this file, just JavaScript file. Now I need to load it. To load it, you can just source this file. Let me show you. This is the command. Just source the file. Okay. Now loaded, call this to print the table. Let me see. Okay, cool. It is working fine. So, yeah, so you can check the status with this. This is like a verbose, right? Lot of uh, contents. So just to simply check your replication status, I yesterday created this function. So you can also call this and you can easily like what are the instances and what is the role, primary or secondary, and what is the status online. And this is the primary, so there is no lag. And here in the other two replicas, applier queue is applied, which means there is no lag. Maybe yeah, just it will be useful, and you can also create your own plugins to interact with the MySQL shell. You can customize whatever you want. You can customize it. Okay, fine. Now this is done. We created the three instance. We installed the MySQL server. We installed the MySQL shell, and we prepared the each MySQL instance to compatible with the replica set. Then we created the replica set on the primary, and then we added the other two replicas one by one, right? Fine. Now, one more thing. Okay, you already did the setup and you are away, and sometime after you want to connect and check the status. In that case, let's say, let me show an example. Yeah, so now I come out the session and I logged in again. So here I logged into JavaScript, and if you do sv.status, it will give the error. SV is not defined, right? But your cluster is already, you have the replica set. After some time or some days or weeks, months, you are logged in your shell and you are trying to see the status, or you want to do some modifications, whatever. You want to do something with the InnoDB replica set. If you are using the same variable, it will not show any status because the variable assigning will be only available on the particular sessions. So in this case, how you can handle that? How you can get your cluster again, right? So that is, there is one function dba dot get replica set. Okay, the same thing you can just assign whenever you are disconnected and re-login again. You need to first get your cluster, available cluster here. Okay, not only SV, you can have any variable here. Okay, once you get it, now it is telling you are connected to the member of replica set, SV replica set, right? Now you can see the SV dot status. SV.status. Now it will display the status, and you can manage. You can do anything now. Switch over, failover, or remove instance, rejoining, whatever InnoDB replica set operation. Now you are good to do that. Okay, fine. Now this is done. Now let's see how to do the promote the other node as a primary. Okay, how to promote the other node as a primary. Let me also execute this one source so that I can use this function to display all my status in the simply I can see my status, right? Yeah. So, okay, so I can see some warning here. You are connected to the member of replica set. That is fine. Unable to connect to the primary of the replica set. MySQL could not open the connection to access it. Okay, so here, yeah, this is also one of the important thing. I just logged in the MySQL shell, but I did not switch to my replica set account. That is also one of the major thing you need to make sure whenever you are going to do something with your InnoDB replica set. I would recommend to connect your admin user first. Admin user means the user which you created for your InnoDB replica set, the dedicated account, right? Connect Sri logs at InnoDB RS1. Okay, so it is connected now. Now, if you do, yeah, again, you need to do all this. You need to get this cluster, all these things. For example, I'm just doing this sv dot status. Yeah. So now you can see you are not seeing any warning, right? Previously, there were these warnings are there, right? Because you were executing that in the root user. Now, it does not display any warning. It is working fine, right? Cool. So yeah, that is also one of the main thing you need to remember whenever you are doing something with the InnoDB replica set. You need to make sure you are connected with your uh, uh, dedicated account, okay, which you created. Yeah, fine. Now it is working fine. I have one primary and two secondaries. The next one is, let's see how to do the switchover and the failover. Let me explain what is switchover and failover here. Switchover is somehow your primaries are alive, but you want to do some maintenance on your primary, so you want to take your primary down. So in that case, before that, you need to switch your primary to any one of the replica. You need to promote it as a primary, right? So that is something called as a switchover. So you can do the switchover using this command: set primary instance. Okay. For example, currently my primary is RS1, replica set 1, and 2 and 3 both are the secondary, right? You can see the role. Now I want to promote replica this node, RS2 as a primary. Okay, the function is set primary instance. Okay, it is done, and you can see it is connected to all the primaries and replicas. It is connected with your. So this is what we need to make sure you have the same account name and same password, so that these operations will can happen with the same Sri log and that particular password. If you have the different user password, it is hard to manage. Okay, and performing the validation check, checking the asynchronous status, topology, everything, and finally it will do the promotion. Okay, changing the replication source of InnoDB, this one to this, I mean 1 to 2, primary switched from 1 to 2, and changing the replication source of RS3 to RS2, because RS2 is the current primary, right? Previously, the RS3 was connected to the RS1, right? RS3 was connected to source host is RS1, right? Now, when we are changing the primary, this RS3 should be relocated under the RS2. That everything will be taken care of by the, by this function when you are switching the primary. Okay. Now, let's see the status. Yeah. So now you can see RS2 is my primary node, and this is the secondary, and RS1 and 3 are the secondary node. Now, if you see currently this, previously it was RS1 is the source host, right? Now, if you see the show slave status, you can see your current source host is InnoDB RS2, because RS2 is the current primary, right? Cool. Now, this is, you can similarly, you can make the RS3 as a primary, whatever node you want to promote as a primary, that you can do. Now, this is the switchover, like promoting the secondary to the primary, primary to the secondary. Now, let's say currently my primary is RS2. Let's say for some reason my RS2 is down. Systemctl stop MySQL. I'm manually stopping here, but yeah, maybe some crash or whatever happens. Somehow your RS2, your current primary is down. Okay. Yeah, it is down now. If you see the status now, it will tell RS2 is unreachable. Secondary, it is now trying to connecting. It is trying to connect the primary node, but the primary is down, right? Checking the status again, it is still in the same state. So this is currently your downtime. You are facing the downtime because your primary is down and your application might not able to connect with the database, right? So in this situation, the auto failover is somehow not possible by default in the InnoDB replica set. Now, but you can make the node as a primary. You can do the manual failover. Okay. For that also, we have one of the function that is force primary instance. Okay. This is the function. Now let me try to show this. Force primary instance. So before that, I would recommend to validate your replica status, which is up to date. All your relay logs are updated. We need to manually verify all these things. Then I would recommend to proceed with this failover with the latest node, updated node. Okay, let's say here I am promoting InnoDB RS1 as a primary. Okay, so currently this is secondary. I am going to promote this as a primary. And if you see, okay, what is the error? Failed to execute query on the, okay, metadata server. So before doing that, I need to get the cluster status here. So just execute this command once. Okay, get replica set status here. Yeah, now it is there. Now you can execute the force primary instance too. Yeah, so failover finished successfully. You can see the connecting to the replica instance, connecting to the 1 and 3, 1 and 3, because 2 is not available. It is down, waiting for all active transactions to be applied, and will be promoted to the primary, and checking the status of last known primary. Okay. node checking the status of the promoted instance 1 and checking the transaction set of the instance 1. Okay, it will validate everything. And finally, it was forcefully promoted the RS1 as a primary, right? RS1 as a primary and updating the source of remaining secondary instances, which means RS3, that is the replica, which was connected to the RS2 before, right? RS2 before, and now as I'm making the RS1 to the primary, now this will also relocate under RS1. Okay, let's just verify the status here now. Now you can see your source host is RS1 changed. Let's verify the replica set status here. Yeah. So now you can see your RS1 is the primary node now, which is online, and this RS2 is invalidated, which means that is not available now, and RS3 is the secondary. It is the replica under RS1. Now let me start back this node, starting the RS2 back. Okay. Now I am checking the status again. It is invalidated. Now, when you are started, you need to execute to rejoin instance. So, rejoin instance RS2, InnoDB RS2 to join back to the replica set. Target instance must be given as host port credentials will be taken from. What is the error? If given must match them. InnoDB RS-2. Rejoining instance invalid target instance. What happened? RS-2 3306 in. Let me do get replica set. Rejoining instance invalid target. Let me check the status. Let me quickly check the logs. MySQL SH. Status connected to RS1. Okay, does not give anything about this. Checking the simplified status again. Let me try to MySQL show slave status. Sorry, show replica status. Replica status on here. It is nothing. Rejoining is somehow not working. Let me try to do add instance then. Add instance InnoDB RS2, closing the bracket. Relation check replica add instance. Already member of this replica set. This invalidated. 1 second. It's somehow the rejoining. Okay, I will check this and I will get back. For now, let me try to do this. Let me try to remove it and add it back. InnoDB RS3. Remove instance. Sorry, not 3, it is 2. this state. Yes, v dot status. Okay, instance is not a primary, but super read only option is off. Accidental updates to this instance are possible and will cause the inconsistency in the replica set. So this is actually the error from the RS2. Let me try select at super underscore read underscore only. Okay, set global super read only equal to on. Just reconnecting and verifying the status. Fine. Now let me try instance was invalidated and must be rejoined or removed. Okay, now let me try to rejoin this. Rejoin instance taken for target instance must be given as host port. Okay, it should be host port. Oh man, there was a command line problem. So I did this now. Okay, so the error itself, it is telling it should be the host and port. The credentials are not needed. You can see target instance must be given as host colon port. Credentials will be taken from the session itself. Fine. So now after doing that, rejoining instance, just a host name and the port. This instance is now added. Incremental state recovery was selected because this node is already part of the cluster, right? So when I'm trying to add it back, the incremental state transfer recovery approach was taken, and rejoining the instance to replica set, changing replication source, checking replication channel status. Now it is added. Now let me check the SV status. Yeah. Now this RS2 is joined and it is in the read-only mode and it is online. Status is online now. And let me quickly verify with my script. Cool. So now this node is added to the cluster as a secondary. So the issue is I was mentioning the username as well there. And there was one more error that super read only mode is also disabled there because it was shut down during the primary, right? When it was on primary, the node was crashed, and when it was added back, it was not joined to the cluster. So the super read-only mode was left there. So in that case, if the node is joined to the replica set, it may create problem like the writes may happen over there, right? So to avoid that, it was not added into the cluster actually. So after setting to the super read-only mode there, and after correcting the command, my command, just removing the username from there, it was working fine. So now you can see the status is updated. It is joined to the cluster. Fine. So this is about this. This is also, I would say, a good learning experience for me as well. I came to learn few things while working on this tutorial. Yeah, maybe whatever questions or doubts, if you have, please put it on the comment section or directly reach me. We'll try to resolve together. Yeah, and I would say is this InnoDB replica set environment I recently worked on uh, one of the project to implement the InnoDB replica set. So that is quite hands-on experience new for me as well. But yeah, I thought to do one video here, and while preparing this tutorials, I came into multiple errors and I was trying to fix them, and this was good learning experience for me. Maybe yeah. In case if this video is useful, please share with your friends. Like if you have any questions or doubts or suggestions, please put it on the comment section. Give the message. We will try to resolve that. Okay, cool. I will also working on the part 2 tutorial in couple of days. I'm planning to release the part 2 in couple of days. There we will address the adapting the existing asynchronous environment to the replica set, and we will do set up the MySQL router, and we will also try to create some crash scenarios, and we will see how to address that as well. Cool. So as I mentioned, I am also planning to start one MySQL course. Maybe if you have want to join, please let me know, and I am open to the part-time roles and any MySQL related projects. I'm happy to work on it. If you have something, please reach out to me. Cool. By then, please share with your friends who is learning the MySQL. Thank you very much. Bye.